Welcome back to the NerdCast Podcast, where we talk all tech-related home and office applications. I'm your host, Chris, and today we're going to talk about what to do with slow internet speeds. Dealing with slow internet is a uniquely frustrating experience, especially if you're gaming with friends, streaming a show, or trying to work from home. I know that when I started experiencing slow Wi-Fi at home, I was paying for 1 gigabyte speeds, but I knew something had to be wrong because I was certainly not getting the benefit of those speeds. And you can certainly blame your internet provider or an outdated router, things like that, but that doesn't always seem to be the case. There could be minor issues that can be easily resolved in a few simple steps, right? So I noticed that when I was working from home, I was having buffering issues with Zoom calls or Teams meetings. And so I noticed it there, but also just in general use, like watching our favorite TV shows, things like that, we would definitely experience fluctuating speeds. And when calling the internet provider, they'll tell you that you shouldn't be having any issues to your speed. They'll do a simple check on your modem to make sure that everything's working correctly. And if they can't find anything, it means that you may have a different issue. So we're going to start a little bit about talking about internet speed and what it is. So internet speed is measured by megabits per second. In other words, your speed is measured by how much data can be processed over a network in a second. Gigabit internet, like I have, refers to 1,000 megabits per second. The more data that's processed over your network, the better the connection performs. So we're going to talk a little bit about what you need to do. The first thing that you need to do is go to a website that will run a quick internet speed test for you. I definitely recommend what's called Ookla's speed test. And so if you're familiar with that, all you have to do is go to Ookla's website and click a simple button that just says something along the lines of check speed, something like that. Or go. It just says go. Sorry. So once you hit go, it's going to begin measuring your internet performance and speed. And you should see how closely that relates to what you should be getting from your modem. Now, speeds can vary a little bit based on the distance you are from your ISP, which is your internet service provider. So if you are a long distance from your provider, you could experience some latency there. But typically it's not so bad, especially if you have something like fiber internet. But if you are running the old cable-based internet, you could definitely run into issues there. So you want to test to make sure that you're getting the full extent of what you're paying for, because it's certainly annoying if you pay for a certain speed, but you're not actually getting it, especially if you're somebody who's paying for a lower internet speed. So another thing that you want to do once you have checked your speed, if you're noticing any differences in that and noticing any performance issues, first thing you want to do is move your router. So your router may be placed in a location within your home that may not, or may have obstacles in the way that are blocking your signal. So if you have your router in your bedroom and you're trying to get your network in your kitchen, there may be different walls surrounding that modem or router causing obstructions. And anytime there's an obstruction, you can definitely notice a difference in your internet speed. So moving your router may be a simple solution in getting better speeds. You can also invest in what's called a Wi-Fi extender. So if you don't want to move or can't move your modem, you can also purchase what's called a Wi-Fi extender. They typically plug directly into your wall receptacle, and then you just log that or allow access to that Wi-Fi extender within your modem to make sure it can begin receiving and sending signal. And what that does is it just takes that signal and it expands it. You can move around those obstacles to strengthen your Wi-Fi signal and have it reach longer distances as well. Now, you do want to make sure that your Wi-Fi extender is compatible with the type of internet that you have, such as 2 gigahertz versus 5 gigahertz. You'll want to check with that. Usually it's in your router settings. You can check to see, and some routers even allow you to switch between the two. So you do want to make sure that all of that works and that it can be linked together. So when you pair an extender with a router, it's just going to extend that signal. The other thing that you want to check for is to make sure that your cables are in good condition, everything is plugged in properly, and then also that cables aren't extended beyond a normal reach. So if you have a 150-foot Ethernet cable, you could experience some latency along the way, which may affect your internet speeds. Another thing to consider is if you have high internet speeds that you pay for, make sure that your Ethernet cable is designed to be able to handle those higher speeds. So you do want to check on that. You can look on the internet. You can find out based on the packaging of what type of Ethernet cable that you have. You could have Cat 5 or Cat 6, where Cat 6 will be able to handle internet speeds much faster than even a Cat 5. And so you want to make sure that you are doing that. And you want to place the extender, if you're using one of those, in a central location within the house, or you can even set up multiple extenders as well. It's going to be a lot easier to just use one, so try to find a place within your house that is easily reachable, right, and not subjected to obstacles. And the last thing that you can do is you can try to prioritize your traffic. So one thing that's very handy is if you're working in a Wi-Fi environment, maybe shutting off some Wi-Fi on devices that are out of use. So if you're not using your laptop, disconnect it from your network, and you should notice a little bit of a performance boost from doing that. So if you have TVs, if you have phones or tablets or laptops that aren't connected to the or are connected to the internet, go ahead and disconnect those from the network, and you should notice a fairly good performance boost there. And so the main takeaways that we can have is that having a router as well as a Wi-Fi extender in place will help you to spread out that Wi-Fi signal as well as avoid different obstacles that may be causing latency issues. Another thing you can do is try upgrading your router to one that can handle those higher speeds, as well as any Ethernet cables that may be used for LAN devices. And so you want to do that as well. Make sure that your routers are set up appropriately. So going into your settings to make sure of that. Another thing you can do is what's called port forwarding, and we can cover that in a different episode. But essentially, you're assigning the router a prioritized device, right? And you can set that up on multiple devices, but it allows you to prioritize certain devices to enhance the performance of your internet speed based on the device that you're using. So if you have a work computer at home, you may want to prioritize that. Or if you're using computers for gaming, things like that, they use a lot of their high resources applications. So you may want to up the performance by doing what is called port forwarding. And then upgrading, of course, your Ethernet cables, making sure that they are rated to handle the speed test that you, or the speed amount that you have paid for through your ISP. If you have any other questions about performance and speed of Wi-Fi networks or routers, feel free to check out our other videos as well as leave comments down below with any kind of questions that you have. But for now, this has been NerdCast Podcast, and feel free to check in to subscribe so that you can get all the up-to-date home and office tech-related applications and information on them. Thank you.